Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Live Show. Forgot the name of my own show for a minute. Keeping it casual on Monday. I'm sure I'm going to get some comments because I didn't dress up. It's been a bit of busy day. We've only got one NBA game, so you're like, why are you busy? Just other shit. But we also got an NFL game, so we're going to be looking at that. I know we got some folks already up in here, so appreciate you. What's up, Marcus? Good to see you, bro. Yeah, let's get it indeed. David Cruz getting right to business, bro. Chase or Higgins yards, CD over yards, Ferguson receptions. Yeah, that was what I put in the video last night that I made for the NFL today. I've got 3 bets in right now, so I want to run through the stuff that I have with you guys. I do want to just briefly go over how we did recently as well, so you guys can stay on top of the stuff with us. What's up, everybody? What's up, Chance? What's up, Amber? See you guys in here as well. I'm going to be getting a little bit more organized since David has been awesome and is back producing today for us and should be back for the foreseeable future as well. We are going to be putting some new stuff in the show for you guys. So we're going to be getting some stuff in so that we can see how we've done on the show. We can keep track of the live show record a little bit better. We can keep track of the VIP record. Keep it separate so you know what's coming in the show, what's been going on behind the scenes in the VIP. So we're going to do that moving forward. Probably start that next week, but that's what's been going on behind the scenes. For now, I just want to keep it going with what with your guys' looks and mine as well, so that we can make sure that we find the best value, right? So I'm going to spend the first half of the show doing NBA and then get into NFL, although already I have more NFL looks than NBA, to be honest with you. So let's see what's good, Daddy Herbs. Justin Jeffrey likes Higgins. 3+ TDs for Burrow is what Chance is coming in with. Plus money. How pass heaven, I believe the game. Yeah, heavy. Yeah, shoot, I'm liable to cash in the first half. Yeah, Joey B's had a bunch of games like that. Let me show you my looks real quick. David's got us on the stuff that you guys are putting in here, so we're going to be looking at that the bets that you guys put down. If you're not yet familiar with the show, definitely jump in the comments with your bets and get that going, and that'll help fuel us because I don't have any NBA plays down just now, and I've got my NFL one. So let's get at it. I said I was going to start with the NBA, but so far I have one NBA look and all the NFL stuff coming in. So let me start with what I've got here, and you guys can tell me what you think of it or what you don't think of it. This was what we did on Sunday. Not great, but got to be honest with you guys. 2 and 3, lost 1.2 units. That's incorrect. That's not me being that bad at math. It was originally. But yeah, Braylon Allen was an easy over the first quarter. So was Jordan Addison. Hubbard, I liked it with Jonathan Brooks in there. Another ACL for the Rook, so he's out again for the foreseeable future, at least another year probably. And then Jameis sold us overall. I watched some of that game. He got a lot of pressure from the Pitt defense, and that O-line just kind of gave way, and he was pretty much done at that point. They had to pass the whole game like I knew they would because Nick Chubb wasn't going to run on them. But Will Levis also kind of sold us, but also ended up getting hurt at the half, right the play before halftime. So that's how we ended that day, 2 and 3. In the NBA, I believe I have that for you as well. First day that we didn't win more than a unit, still won. That's not correct. Wait, that's the wrong one. My bad. Let me get to the right one. What I meant to say was that we had, I did upload the wrong one. All good. On this was Sunday's results were actually, this is Saturday's results. Sunday's results were 4 and 3. So yeah, you can actually see this is correct. Everything except for the results. This is 4 and 3 plus 0.7 units. So we didn't even make a full unit back, but we didn't lose anything. We won. So I'm going to count that as a great day when you don't lose money in the NBA or betting on it. But up 30.7 units now in the VIP on the NBA, a little bit better than the NFL, a lot of it better, which is only up 2.7 units now in the NFL. So hovering above 500 in the NFL, but still killing it with the NBA. So definitely going to be looking at that. Not enough games, but we'll have a video tonight. The NFL plays that I am looking at, since I see some of y'all in there already, bringing up some of the stuff that I'm looking at, including this one right here from I Am Cruz, which is a look that I did put in the show last night. So if you're looking at Joey B, what we're looking at is potentially passing TDs. I also took the over 8.5 rushing yards, 8.5 rushing TDs for Joey B. For reasons listed right here, right, as you can see. So if you guys are interested in tailing any of that, that's where we were at last night. He's got 3+ passing TDs in 4 straight. And I don't expect this team to run, even though they could if they wanted to be honest with you. They like to pass. They have the highest pass play percentage in the league for a reason. You can see all that stuff. We can go over it. But the Dallas pressure, blitz rate, all that stuff super high. Let me actually just show you guys a couple of things with that, just to make sure you guys are looking at the same spot as me. I'll go ahead and share my screen and just look at a few things for the NFL so that we're on the same page. I have Props Madness up right now, but I want to bring up, and this is going to incorrectly say NBA player props, but we're also looking at NFL. let's see. I'll just put this one up. All right. So we've got if I'm looking at Joey B, the stuff I was looking at for this, I always want to know with the defense. I'm literally just going to Pro Football Reference for some of this stuff. It's super easy, not behind a paywall. But if I go to team defense here, I can see both blitz percentage and pressure percentage. And that's what I'm talking about with the Cowboys. Number one in pressure percentage. And then in blitz percentage, they're like sixth, right? They're blitzing the sixth most in the league here, 29% of the time. So they're going to be bringing that pressure. We know that. A lot of people are asking about Micah Parsons on the sacks, over a half a sack. Definitely could see that. We got both tackles, I believe, banged up right now for the Bengals as well. So we got to keep that in mind. With all that in mind, what do you do with it? Well, I mean, we look at running back receiving. We look at short yardage stuff as well. We look at guys with slightly lower ADOTs. That's usually going to be helpful when we're talking about why we care about this team blitzing so much, right? So that's what I'm looking at with Joey B. I do like the rush yards as well. He's also done that in 4 straight games now, I believe, for Joey Burrow, that he's had at least over 8.5 yards rushing. I would take this at 10 plus. I know this is at like 9.5 in a bunch of places, so I would definitely be hitting that if you guys are interested at 8.5 rush yards. I'm totally good with that. 5 of the last 6 QBs have 10 plus rushing yards against the Cowboys. The only quarterback who didn't get that 10 plus rushing yards was Kirk Cousins, who I'm pretty sure you couldn't get to run if you were chasing him with rabid animals, right? Like that man is just, his legs are shot. He is a definition of a pocket quarterback. So I believe in that. Yeah, I think the 1.5 TDs, I think, is a really safe bet as well. I know it's like minus 140 for him to get that. Let me pull up my screen again and just pull this one down and get to the other thing I was looking at with this bet. Come here, I got the sleeper. I should also bring this up. We do have the sleeper code if y'all are interested. There's a nice sale right now for Joey B on sleeper. If you guys are using it, you can add him for 0.5 yards over that. So this is like a freebie to add to your parlays to just get another leg in there and up the juice. I definitely recommend using that. If you don't have a sleeper account yet, you can get a $100 match deposit if you're interested using code LYB. So make sure you use code LYB when you're signing up to sleeper if you don't have an account. And make sure that if y'all are already on sleeper, you're using the Joey B. Like there's no harm in adding it. They're just giving it to you as promo. So yeah, go ahead and make sure you use that on sleeper if you're making your parlay picks there. I think one of those legs is easily like a Joey B over 1.5 TDs. I might as well add that as well. Although you can't use it with the promo because you can't use him twice in that bet. But if you do get another parlay that you're not using the promo on sleeper, I think Joey B over 1.5 TDs, passing TDs is a good look in this game. And like I said, I'm going to ladder that shit to 3. So do with that what you will. One of the people who I expect to catch that one of those 2 to 3 touchdowns from Joey B is going to be T. Higgins, the man. T. Higgins, I mean, yes, we know he's going to continue to get red zone targets, but this dude's getting targets inside the 5. He had 2 targets inside that were on the 1 last week. So even when this team has the second highest pass play percentage inside the red zone, yes, totally good call. Michael, dude, glad to have you in here, bro. I don't think I've seen you in the live show. I know you come with the heat in the comments on the NFL videos, but I agree with you that the Dallas secondary is healthy. I still don't care, to be honest with you. I mean, Diggs has been healthy, having a poo-poo ass season. So yeah, either way, like the amount that this team is going to pass when they're close to the goal line is really what I'm looking for. In the reason that I like this stuff for passing and the passing TDs as well. Was it really minus? It was on like Prize Picks though, Chance, and like the DFS pick'em sites. You should be able to get Burrow. Let's go to Outlier, and you should be able to get Burrow. For 1.5 at like minus 137, which is the benefit, of course, of playing on the DFS pick'em sites that you can play on. So let me pull up my screen again. So I'm using Outlier here for the NFL. This is my go-to for the NFL. This is going to be home base whenever we're talking about this stuff. Let me look at Burrow real quick because they do pull through the DFS sites here on Outlier, so you can compare those odds. If I just pull him up real quick and go to pass TDs, pass yards, pass tutties. Yeah, so like on Prize Picks, minus 137, that's where I'd be adding it. I'm not suggesting that you guys take Burrow at -1 or minus 215 to get 2 passing TDs on a traditional book like you see here. I'm suggesting that because of where it's priced on places like Prize Picks and probably Sleeper as well, you're going to get better juice on 1.5 passing touchdowns on those books, not on the traditional sports book. So this is where I'd be playing Burrow 1.5 tutties. But you're right, Chance. Like that's not great. I'm not going to play Burrow 2+ TDs for the minus 210. It's not worth it to me at that point. So yeah, I'm with that. All good either way. Yeah, it's still the same deal. But yeah, I appreciate you bringing it up because that gives me the opportunity to tell you guys make sure you're playing it on the correct book. If you don't yet have an account with Prize Picks, Underdog, Sleeper, I've got codes for Sleeper and for Underdog. So if you want those, you can definitely use code LYB. I'll just leave that up for a minute. But if you want anything for Sleeper as well, let me pull, or not Sleeper, Underdog, those would be the two as well that you can see. You're going to get a lot of really stale, soft lines on those two DFS pick'em stuff. And they're just putting out too many bets. Like Prize Picks, Underdog, they just put out too many bets. So it's hard for them to actually put out competitive numbers. Just keep that in mind for those of y'all playing on that DFS pick'em stuff. All right. So, keeping it moving. I like Burrow. I like Higgins as well. You look at the stuff inside the red zone like I'm talking about. This is behind a paywall. But this is where I get all of my what do they do when they're in a certain situation. This is fantasy points. It is going to be a somewhat hefty paywall for some of y'all. I mean, for me, it makes total sense. Like $300 for the season. I mean, if you're making more than $300 a season on the NFL, this is going to help you for sure. So I'm just going to show you the stuff and the tendencies that these teams have when they're in certain situations, right? So if we go to we go to offense and we go to run pass report, now we can see a little bit more specifically what they do when they're in certain situations. Like I keep saying like 100 freaking times now. So inside the 10 pass percentage, right? Bengals are number 2. Jets, they refuse to run. If you look at inside the 20, so we're talking about inside the red zone, they're 3rd in pass percentage, right? Overall, if you just look at them in any situation, let's see if I can see this is, I gotta, if anybody from Fantasy Points is in here right now, I have suggestions. Overall pass percentage, 3rd highest pass percentage in the league. Every situation you can think of, this team is passing, right? And so that's why I'm not worried about the tutties in there or anything like that. But I wanted to make sure you guys saw where I'm getting this type of data from. If I look at Higgins as well, that's going to be, like I said, just red zone stuff. You can even just easily see that here on Outlier. That's why I like the tutties for Higgins. I know a lot of people were talking about the first touchdown. Not terrible if you want to. I don't really usually play first touchdown. I mean, I don't know why I would have an edge on that. It's just going to be for crazy odds because the TD has gotten juiced. But if first half tutties for T. Higgins. Either way, plus 125. Now, this was at plus 140 for a while. I said I would take this down to plus 120 in the VIP when I gave it out. So that's where I'm at with T. Higgins. Last one I'll just give you as I get back into the looks that you guys have. I got it. I haven't hit this yet. I don't know. Oh, no, I did. I did hit this. My bad. I was like, did I even play this yet? I did. Chase Brown, I like on the longest rush. And I think if you want to take him for some stuff on the receiving, I think that's probably a good look as well. Hold on. I got to interrupt myself to see what Michael said. Giving up catches underneath the tight ends. Yeah, Tanner and Gesicki are going to soak up some of the catches that everyone thinks are going to tight ends. You mean that are going to wide receivers? Yeah, which is what you corrected it with here. I feel that. I haven't taken Higgins or Chase Brown on the yards or anything like that, but I do like Higgins for the tutty based on the usage inside the red zone. You can see here if we get to red zone target share, 43% last week, 27% the week before, back-to-back weeks with 3 red zone targets. I believe 3 of his last 4 now with a tutty. 3 in a row with a tutty, and then 4 of 5 as well. And actually has 5 touchdowns in these last 5 games for T. Higgins. So that's that. This is the Chase Brown stuff that I like. Dallas is terrible, but I also do know the tackles are a bit of a problem. At the same time, Dallas is going to be probably better against the pass in general in this game. Still know that the Bengals are just going to keep forcing it that way. So I'm not worried about that. But I think the longest rush for him is going to be good. Dallas is bottom 10 in explosive play rate allowed. So they are letting up the at a rate of the 10th highest most plays that are at least 20 plus yards. Explosive play rate. Boom. All right. So easy on that. That's an easy one for me to explain there. He's done this so much, and it hasn't even been that recent that he was like the clear cut lead back for Chase Brown. That's what I'm looking at here as I'm chasing. That was not on purpose. But as I'm chasing stuff here for Chase Brown, I swear that pun wasn't even on purpose. I'm just that punny. But as we're looking at this for him, like look at the amount of times he's gone over this longest rush. Obviously, 2 of those were 16, so we're butting up right against it. But that's against a Baltimore defense that's tops in the league, top 3 in the league, let's call it, right? And then you look at all these other games, like look at these rush attempts for him. On 7 rush attempts to start the game, he still got there against Washington. Got there against Carolina on 15, but still 12, 10, 15. Like it's not like he's a clear-cut workhorse back of any kind. He's still working with limited rushes and still getting there. Then you get him up to like 27 rushes. Yeah, he's going to get there. So if you put him at about 15 in this game, and I believe his rush attempts, always like to at least know that what the books are setting this at. They're pretty good at deciphering the attempts for quarterbacks and for running backs, to be honest. So I like to at least make sure I look at what the rush attempts are at for him. In this game, they have it listed at, where did it go? 17 and a half. rush attempts, right? So for 17 and a half for a dude who anytime he's done that this season, he's easily getting it. Then yeah, appreciate it, Michael. Always good to have you, brother. All right. So that's where I'm at with Chase Brown. Oh, I'm not, dude. You guys forgot to tell me I'm not sharing my screen. I highly apologize, but that's all available on that's all available here on Outlier. If I'm looking at Chase Brown, I'm just going back to the longest rush for him. Love this at 15 and a half, gone over it very consistently this season. And I was showing how he has done it without even having that many rushes. But basically, if he gets like 7+ rushes, he's good to go. In the 2 that he missed here, 12 and 13, now his rush attempts line is up at 17 and a half as the expectation in this game, that he's going to have that many rush attempts. That's what I was talking about, that the books are very good at being able to decipher here, is how many rush attempts somebody's going to have. They're usually pretty accurate, and they have him at 17 and a half. You give him 15, I'm great with. You give him 13, I still think this is a really good look. So I hit that already, gave that out in the VIP. Last one that I'm looking at that I gave you those 3 right now. So that's what I have in the VIP. The other looks that I had, at least that I was considering, and I didn't bet yet because I just don't like the Cowboys, man. I think Cooper Rush probably is just going to have the passing yards because of the pass attempts. You're not very good at running. This team bad. It's just bad. If you're looking at the Cowboys offense, I made this for the show last night. Passing yards 7th, rushing yards 31st. Now that's a lot of that has to do with them not leading ever. They're always trailing. So if you're trailing, you're going to pass. That makes sense. But they're not very good at it anyway. And the thing that I was looking at here for this Bengals rush defense is between the tackles. And this stuff is on next gen stats, but you can, and once again, behind a paywall. But if you are on next gen NFL stats, you can see why it would be that I would be fading Rico Dowdle, probably at least on the rush, if not rush and receiving. I also actually like adding the receiving to the fade. And I like Cooper Rush to have to pass more, even if this team is leading or not leading, but even in a neutral, I don't know that they're going to be leading, but in a neutral game plan or a state of game, right, where it's like within 7 points or tied or what have you, then they're still throwing. So I still think he's going to be throwing, and I expect them to be losing as on top of that, to be honest. So that's where we're at. I like that. I heard someone talk about Ferg. I think he's probably good for 5+, man, but I think it got juiced down as well. Let's take a quick look at Ferg and see if we like anything with him as we keep rolling through the football game. We got a bunch more people in here as well since I last told you guys, so I'll let you know. If you are betting on Sleeper tonight, make sure you use the Joey Burrow promo right here. Get him for over half a yard. If you're not using him, I still think it's a good look to get Joey Burrow over 1.5 passing TDs. That's going to be a better price on Sleeper, Prize Picks, Underdog. All those DFS pick'em sites is where I'd be playing Joe Burrow over 1.5 TDs. And as mentioned, I also think it's worth it to sprinkle on 3+ for him at about 2 to 1. If you can still get it plus 190 or better, I think the 3+ passing tutties for our boy is a good look. But yeah, like I was saying, you can also use this promo. If you don't yet have a Sleeper account, make sure you use code LYB. That's how you get a $100 deposit match when you do sign up. And then go ahead and use that Burrow the look there. If I'm going to bring up, and like I said, go ahead and like the video. And I do have 2 codes left, just because I do have a bunch more people in here. I just want to let y'all know. Have 2 codes left for the VIP. We're trucking along in the NBA. We're crushing. I don't know how else to say it. We're up I'm halfway to my goal on the season of 60 units made. We're going up to 100 now, so we're going to keep it going. But if you do, I have 2 codes left for VIP disc. I had to add 10 more after I fucked up the promo. I won't even get into this story, but I added 10 more because I messed it up, and I clearly need an admin of some kind. So if you do want to use code VIP, DISC, that gets you 50% off your first 2 months for whichever package you might want to get into. All right, let me roll on into let me see if I got a couple of looks from you guys too for the NFL. I was going to show you Ferg. Obviously, this is not going to be based on anything to do with Ferguson's recent numbers, because he's also been hurt, and I do believe that he's back to full health. And this is a terrible defense versus tight ends for the Cincinnati Bengals. As you can see, they give up the second most touchdowns to the tight end position. This is under. That's why I was like, what? So the tutty for him plus 280, just a thought there. But everything else too. Receiving yards, they are 29th versus tight ends. Receptions alone, I believe they're 31st again. No, 28th versus tight end. So they're bad versus the tight end position. I don't have much else for you except for if Ferg is healthy and he's playing alongside Cooper Rush. And we've seen with CeeDee Lamb, how the effort that he's put forth and the level of banged up that he is. Like, this is a good look if he's healthy. And it seems like he is. So I would say Ferg 5+ receptions is also a good look in this one. I stayed away, David, from the Chase Brown rushing yards. Appreciate you showing that, David. That was helpful. The Chase Brown stuff here, I think he's up to like 79.5. which is also why when I'm watching this ESPN bet show, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you guys are giving out bets an hour before the game. This line opened at what? Let's look at the rush yards. This line opened at like 70 rushing yards, and you took it at 79.5, and you're giving it out. Yeah, it actually, is it down? Oh, you can get 60. Well, that's prize picks, right? So whenever I see minus 137, I know I'm talking about prize picks. So for 70 plus is minus 140. How did she give out a 79.5 yard rushing prop for this man? Like, she just took it at the highest point and then gave it out on this show. That's a tough job. Anyway, so the reason I'm not as into it, people were pointing out the tackles are both hurt for this team. They should be able to run against them. I think they're going to have to pass a little bit more than we're thinking. I would actually probably just go for rushing and receiving, is what I was talking about on the show as well, would be rushing and receiving if I was going to take just a core prop for him. I know it's high. It's up at 106.5. This Dallas team does give up a ton to running backs. You can see rushing yards 31st, rushing yards 20th, but overall 31st. Receiving yards allowed to the running back as well, 24th. A lot of guys have gone over versus them in just the receiving because of the pressure that they bring. I showed that earlier. Blitz percentage, they're in 6th or 5th or whatever that number is, and they have the highest pressure percentage in the league. Micah Parsons healthy. Don't hate the Micah Parsons sacks look if you guys wanted that. Appreciate it, Sergeant Blazini. I like it. No doubt. We got a good crew in here. What's good, Yehoshua? Good to have you, bro. Let's see. All right, so I think we didn't go through NBA yet, so no worries there. I like that. I like the Chase Brown, and I saw Dave. If you want to go and bring that one up, I think it was Joe. Yeah, we put Joe Burrow already in there. So for those of y'all that are a little bit late to the show, I got Joey B on the rushing yards. I do think 10 plus is fine. I think 3+ tutties is worth a sprinkle. I think if you're playing on prize picks, like I've been saying, or not DraftKings, prize picks. Or one thing I should show you too is if y'all aren't playing DraftKings Pick 6, I don't even have any kind of partnership with them, but they have stale lines all the time. So if you're going to play stuff as well for this DFS Pick'em app stuff, I would highly recommend having an account with them. I have one here as well, but either way, like you can easily get, so this stuff stays at the number that it opens at. If you're playing DraftKings Pick 6, just keep in mind, like for the NFL, if we're going to passing TDs, do they have passing TDs on here? They might not even have passing TDs. That would be a travesty. But this is another place I'd always be looking to compare my stuff. That is crazy, dude. Hold on, let me see. Joe Burrow. Oh, he's only got 4 picks available. So, yeah, they don't have passing TDs for him. But if when they do get this up, and this is a little bit newer, this is going to be a place where when these lines come up on DraftKings Pick 6, they lock. They don't move. So this opened at 76.5 for T. Higgins. It might be a little bit higher. Let me actually see if I'm talking out of my ass. T. Higgins on the receiving yards. Did that go down? It actually, this is Chase Brown. Come on now. T. Higgins on the receiving yards, 76.5. Is that what it is on here? Oh, okay. So it didn't move. I guess they didn't put this line up until it got to 76.5. Either way, throw DraftKings Pick 6 into your rotation of things that you're looking at as you're playing the DFS Pick'em stuff. All right, I'm good. Like Chase Brown, if you want to take him at 69.5 rushing yards over, I get that. That could work. The other stuff, yeah, the everything else for rushing, like I'm out. I'd be fading Rico Dowdle in this one just for the record. All right, let's get to some NBA stuff. Just got there with the NFL, so I do want to look at that other game. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything for the NBA. I didn't even pull up my live doc. That's on me. Let's see real quick. Where you at live? Oh, that's also. Oh, nice. Thank you for bringing that up, David. That is the up next stuff that we can look at. Yeah, I'm definitely going to look at all that stuff for you guys. I just want to look at any NFL picks that might have come up as well. Keep in mind, our boy Michael, that I trust actually a lot. He comes in hot on the comments of the NFL videos with like paragraph form shit. He's on tight ends for the Bengals because he's thinking that a lot of these targets that people think are going to go to the let's pick up Gesicki real quick. Oh, they don't have the stuff out for Gesicki or Tanner. They do have Tanner Hudson. So is Gesicki probably listed on the injury report? I'm just going to go right to my noties real quick and see if we got anything here for where's Underdog NFL, man? Did I turn off the Underdog NFL? I just want to go right to that page to look at injury stuff. dude, nobody on this freaking 49ers team is stay healthy. That's so unfortunate. Yeah, I don't have anything yet for Gesicki, right? So if I do get any info news about Gesicki, would much appreciate anybody just jumping in. Let me know what you guys think. All right, let's see. What's up, Stan? Good to see you, brother. Yeah, I think the receptions are probably good for that 5.5. You're getting a little crazy. I know he's been targeted a ton. I'm staying away from that stuff for Higgins. I think mostly I like the tutty for him, so I don't want to have too much exposure. Let's see. All right, yeah, y'all, we are all kind of on the same looks here. Iosovas, the only thing I could think of for him would be, I'm just going to look real quick at the matchup. So one of the really nice things actually about being on this here is going to be matchup. So if I go to receiving and I go to receiver separate coverage matchup, so they're just going to give me the coverage matchup and tell me how good it is right off bat. Let me filter this to we were just talking about, so Cincy, right? So Cincy and the coverage grade. So this is showing you how likely they are to beat their coverage. So you can see Jake Ferguson, tight end against Cincinnati, highest coverage grade in there. Looks like Jamar Chase against what the Cowboys are running, whether it's like mostly cover 2. I actually don't know what the Cowboys are running mostly. The Cowboys are running mostly, I guess, a lot of man too. I'd have to go back and look at that. But either way, they're telling us that the coverage matchup here for Iosovas, it looks like is pretty negative in terms of the coverage that he's going to be going up against, the coverage defense that the Cowboys run, whether I don't even know. And now I actually kind of want to know. So I just go to cover matrix. I can actually do this on defense. Let me do it on defense. Team coverage matrix. I want to see what the Cowboys are running the most. If I just straight go man percentage, Dallas, where are they at for man? Let's see. This is the least amount. So Dallas is running at the 18th, basically fewest, right? Where's Dallas at? No, 13th most man. So they're running a little bit more man than most teams. Something to consider. Iosovas not as good against this receiving coverage, defensive coverage. So that's kind of where I'm at with him, but it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean everything. It just means that is a little bit something. So I appreciate you bringing that, but that's where I'm at. Yeah. What's up, the juice? We got TATTD already in there for sure. So yeah, we can add that one in there. We got some hockey looks. Y'all are going to have to carry me there. Does Anson Carter still play hockey? That's like the last hockey player I think I can remember. Mike Madonna's retired, right? Rangers Blackhawks. Go under. That's from Jared. I can't vouch for that. But if Jared wins that one, we're going to be asking you for more hockey bets in here, bro. So keep that in mind. Let's get to some NBA. All right. I'm using Props Madness here for NBA. Use it for everything NBA and for everything WNBA. This is the GOAT. Hell, y'all, I'm happy to look at some plays for tomorrow, by the way, too, if we want to go through them. So just if anybody has stuff that they already see for tomorrow, let your boy know. I'm happy to look at it. All right, let's get the bottom line scrolling. Quick reminder, give that video a like if you would. Got another couple hundo in here since the last time I told you all that. Couple quick reminders as well as we transition. If you do want to get into the VIP where we're crushing the NBA right now, this is the NBA review. Looking really good. Keep that in mind if y'all want to jump in, that I do have a sale. I have 2 more codes for VIP DISC, 50% off your first 2 months. I messed up and only put in 5 people last time. So I had a bunch of people asking me why they couldn't get in. I said it was going to be 10. It was only 5. We're back up to having 2 left after I added 10 more. So if you do want to jump in 50% off your first 2 months, come in there. I'm also offering people sports betting consultation. I don't want to just be giving you picks. If you want to learn how to get better at this stuff, trim some of those bad habits, add some good betting habits, build your bankroll instead of just losing the damn parlay every time that you're throwing out 20 of them a game, then come find me. And this is where you find me, and I'll give you some one-on-one stuff as well. Super helpful. And as David correctly pointed out, I am going to be using Props Madness here. If you don't yet have a Props Madness account, also highly recommend using promo code LYB to get in there for that. Props Madness is the GOAT for all this stuff for basketball. There's no question. The reason it's the GOAT, first of all, it's pulling through this stuff the fastest. So as stuff gets updated here, it's like once a minute, this is refreshing. So you're never looking at stale lines. Love that. The filter system, you can go into advanced filters here, and I'll be doing this for some of these plays we look at, and you can filter it so that you can see how well, for instance, does RJ Barrett play against teams with a defensive rating that sucks. So the Knicks defensive rating, you can hover over and see, this is 23, 24. The Knicks defensive rating is 18th. So how well do they perform against the bottom half? How well does RJ Barrett score against the bottom half of the league in terms of defensive rating. So anybody rated 15th to 28th is going to be now the only games that I see him come up against. Not much of a correlation, but sometimes you'll find stuff like this. So the filters are huge. And then the play type analysis, all this stuff down here, you can see season shot charts. So this is where RJ's shooting from percentage wise. And this is where the defense is giving up the most points. It's giving up the 5th most points in the corners. So, the Knicks defense is super vulnerable to anybody who shoots a lot of corner threes. Really freaking helpful, right? Who shoots a lot of corner threes, find that out. That dude's probably in a good position to get up some good shots in this game. Play type analysis, you can see how well they rank against the transition play, the pick and roll ball handler, the free throws, all this stuff. So it's really, really helpful for matchup, play type, all that stuff. Let's look at RJ Barrett. Some revenge narratives in this game that we at least have to touch on, right? And I don't think either of these teams are on a back-to-back, but let me double check. This is linked in the description of the video. It's called #basketball. Nice, simple chart to see everybody's games listed out for that week. So this is the 2nd to the 15th, right? So this is today. No, this is last week. Let's go to this week. So December 16th to December 22nd. No, that's wrong too. My bad. Oh, this is 2 weeks worth of shit here. So we're on Monday right here, just one game right here. And that is the only one we have, Toronto and then New York. Neither of them are playing tomorrow. So neither of these teams on a back-to-back. That's fine. Just wanted to make sure that I had that right. So nothing to worry about there. Now we're just talking about, do you believe in the revenge narrative, or do we want to look at some matchup stuff? Like, to start with, like, do we not just like RJ to score? My thing with RJ is, and I'm going to take this back down. Let's look at him with Scotty Barnes, Grady Dick, Jakob Poeltl, Ochai. So on the season, he's played 4 games with all these dudes. Let's take out Grady Dick. Grady Dick doesn't seem to matter. I don't think Ochai matters either, to be honest. I think it's Scotty Barnes and Jakob Poeltl that I care about, knowing how often he's playing with these dudes, right? So if these are the 3 most important people on this team, one thing I also want to look at, I'm gonna have to get into some weeds here with y'all, man, because it's tough for me to find some edges in this game, I'll be honest. Otherwise, I'd already have points. This is Fantasy Labs. It's also known as Court IQ, is the sort of software that we're using here. I want to know, how does RJ Barrett play in the game when he's on the floor with these dudes? So I'm going to the Toronto Raptors. Anybody from Toronto knows they call it Toronto for whatever reason. I'm going on court. By the way, our boy Kelly Olynyk is back. Who is excited to fade Kelly Olynyk? I've still got the t-shirts being made. Fade Kelly O is what we do on this show. We always fade Kelly Olynyk rebounds and assists. They had this motherfucker at like 14.5 rebounds and assists last year. I was like, have you seen Kelly Olynyk play basketball? The fuck are we doing? Grady Dick's looking ass. Let's see. RJ Barrett and Scotty and Jakob Poeltl. You know, homie's got those Polish strip clubs on lock. Let's just take off Emmanuel quickly. Make sure he's not on here. Also, if y'all haven't seen Jakob Poeltl's wife, good Lord. All right. The stuff here for looking at AJ. So when this is the and I'm going to go over here, I'm changing this from advanced stats to standard stats. What this is showing me is when these dudes are on the floor together. So you can see right here, we saw Davion has played 28 minutes on the floor with these other dudes and without Emmanuel Quickley. Grady Dick has played 59 minutes this season in 4 games where he's played with Poeltl, Barrett, and Barnes, and Emmanuel Quickley is off the floor. So when these dudes are on the floor together, how are they doing? Looks like what's his name is not doing very well. Davion, obviously, he kind of gets the boot a little bit. Grady Dick, 16 points per 36 minutes is what this means. So in 36 minutes of action, he's averaging 16 points per game when he plays with any of this combination. Jacoby Walter, I don't care about. Let me also just get this out of here. Jacoby Walter will get some minutes this game. So RJ's at 28 points per 36 in this situation. He's looking at 8.5 boards when he plays with these dudes. Let me actually do this real quick. Let's take a couple more guys off the court. Let's take, actually, it doesn't gonna matter. It's not really gonna matter. I'll leave him on. So yeah, goddamn. So Scotty, we're talking about the assists. He's at 11.5 in this situation, 17 points. So he's a little bit less likely to score when he's playing with these dudes. This is why this is important. RJ on the boards is nice. Even has 6 assists per game. Let's start looking at these numbers to compare. So for Scotty assists, 7.5, minus 135. He's playing a team that's 14th in limiting assists. Not that great, right? He's been going off, 26 against the Mavs. I'm looking at potential assists here. So if y'all aren't aware, like we need to be looking at potential assists to make sure we know how many is he even, like what's the volume. Potential assists is the exact same equivalent of field goal attempts. If a dude's not taking field goal attempts, I can't take over on his points because he's not getting the volume. If a dude is not getting potential assists, he's not passing very much. It's hard for me to like actually figure that out. But I love how Scotty is just so in control of this offense. So what I do want to show you too, I have to go to NBA Advanced Stats. I'm going to go to players, and I'm going to go to tracking. This tracking data is so dumb helpful. I can't explain it. I'm about to explain it. I don't know why I would say I can't explain it. I clearly can. First, I'm going to go to touches. I'm just going to look at touches because I want to at least. By the way, I saw we the fifth in there. I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, we were fading Kelly O was fun and funny last season. Cannot wait to get into that again. All right, so looking at this, what I want to know is I'm going to filter this to just the Raptors, and I want to know just the Raptors players because I'm on players. I'm on Toronto now, and I just want to look at the last, like, how long's Scotty been back now since he got hurt? Scotty, since he got hurt, came back on November the 21st. So that's 11 games? 10 games. Nope. 9 games. 9 games that he's been back. So I'm going to go filter this to the last 9 because I just want it with Scotty. I know Pirtle's missed one of those games. I think Barrett missed one of those games. But overall, this is really helpful. So in the last 9 games, with this iteration of the Toronto Raptors, touches, Scotty's clearly the leader, then RJ. Nobody else even coming close to these dudes, right? These are the 2 dudes that Toronto has decided are the future of its team, and I know that because of reading the news. So keep that in mind as well. Front court touches is really important because if Scotty only had touches in general, but not front court touches, then I know he's really just bringing the ball up. But then once they get over half court, he ain't doing stuff, right? You're going to see certain guys who just bring the ball up, pass it off, and they're not really involved in the offense anymore. So their front court touches are low. This is all super important because I need to know who actually has the ball in their hands. And this is where I find that out is under tracking data. Now I'm going to just look at passing as well, because this is helpful for the Scotty assist stuff. I'm looking at passes. I need to go back to my Toronto Raptors, and I need to go to the last 9 games because this is with Scotty in there, and that's what I care about. So with Scotty in there, passes made over the last 9 games, he's clear far above. He's also the point guard. Whether they list him as the point guard or not, I don't care. He is the point guard. He gets the most passes made. He gets the most passes back to him. The assists are at 8.5, and the potentials are at 16.1. So ask yourself, do you think if he averages 16.1 in this situation, do you think he can get 8 assists on 16 potentials? I say yes. The reason I say yes is because 50 to 55% is a reasonable number to expect. So if he has 16.1 potentials, that means that he is turning his potentials into assists 53% of the time, which is the number I just threw out there, 50 to 55%. That's great. Like he's not doing stuff out of pocket here. This is like a normal amount for him. So with that in mind, you still feel comfortable against a Knicks team that gives up the 14th most assists. It's not like they don't. This doesn't really matter to me because by position, yeah, it doesn't matter. But now it's about the odds. For him to get 8, which is expected, it's like 8 is what I project him at. But do I want to take 8 for minus 135? I don't. I personally do not, is my only thing. Now, if this was like the Chicago Bulls, and I know that that's like the worst team at limiting assists in the league, I might say yes. But this doesn't give me much of an edge here at minus 133. That ain't worth it to me. So I'm passing on the Scotty assist. Hopefully y'all got something out of that. But yeah, I mean, and the double odds are disgusting. I mean, minus 120, that's gross. What are his boards at? So that's a ripoff. Please don't ever take that. And thank you for bringing that up. But please don't take Scotty on a double at minus 120. Here's why. None of his props other than points is the implied probability saying that he's going to get double digits. The implied probability here is saying that there is less than a 50% chance that he gets 9. So there's a less than 50% chance he gets 9, but the double is minus 120. Then on the assist, that would be the other prop that he could hit to get to the double. Well, he's hit double digits twice this season on assists, and they're saying there's an implied probability, let's say even over 8.5. It's like not even a 50-50 shot that he gets 9 boards. Why would I take that for minus 120? Please never take that. Thank you for bringing that up, Thomas, with the correct amount of vomit emojis. Probably could have added one more. I'm not going to lie. Four vomit emojis for minus 120 on the props for Scotty Bonds. All right. All right. So then who is going to score? I mean, I think I'm just going to bet on RJ because I don't have much else, and I'd like to satisfy my urge to bet on something. This is what's annoying, though. This is 21.5 on Pinnacle. Pinnacle is what we call a sharp book, and all these other non-sharp books that just copycat books like Pinnacle have it at way worse odds. They have it 22.5 points, and Pinnacle is saying they actually have this listed at 21.5. So I would probably still want to, like, I don't want to drink any of this juice. Even minus 145, like, isn't worth it to me to be betting this stuff. So I guess for RJ, I mean, it's kind of about matchup. Like, pick and roll ball handler is what the Knicks are the worst against. What position do they suck at guarding too, by the way? Let me see. If we look at FanDuel Fantasy Pros, I just want to see versus position. I guess RJ would be the shooting guard, right? I guess Grady Dick's out there too. Let's just see. Points to the Knicks. They're not great against shooting guards, so that's a good look. Wait, where are they at? Oh, they're right here. Yeah, so they're bottom whatever. So if I'm looking at the Knicks right here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They're 12th limiting point guard points. What about the dimes to the PG? Not great. Yeah, they're in the bottom part of the league too. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th. 10th most assists to the point guard. Also interesting. Which we are calling Scotty. But that does make me like the points for am I on shooting guard right now? I'm on shooting guard. I'm an idiot. Assist to the point guard, they're better at. I'm an idiot. Not much better, though. I'm not that big of an idiot. Yeah, they're not much better. The points to the shooting guard, though, are what we would be looking at for RJ. I'd rather take him on that stuff. What's his rebounds at? 5.5. He did have a bad rebounding game. Only 8 chances. Only played 27 minutes versus the Mavs. I have to go back and watch some of that game. I don't really understand what happened there. Yeah, I'm just gonna put RJ on the bottom line right now as a lean to the over, but that's just a lean for right now, man. So that's going on the bottom line. I'm gonna try to get every bet that we have here up on the bottom line if we can get more. But let's see, leans. I'm liking. Get the right in here. I'm liking RJ Barrett over 22.5 points. That might even go down in our favor to 21. So I'm leaving him up there as a lean for now because I just don't like much. And the other one, I know Free Sauce was on Grady Dick. Pause. But I do think that's probably still good. I mean, the thing I'm trying to attack here is corner threes for the Knicks. And you can see on both corners, they give up a lot of corner threes. So I'm really trying to see who shoots a lot of corner threes, but I don't think this team does very much. If I go to players, and I'm going to go to shooting so I can look at the shooting for them. And I can look at where they shoot on the floor a little bit more overall. So I'm going to go by zone. I'm in players, shooting, by zone, just the wraps. And if I look at that, corner threes, yeah, none of them are taking very many. I mean, Grady Dick would be the corner three guy for sure, but he's still only at 2.5. I mean, sometimes you see dudes taking like 4 corner threes a game. Boucher is in there as well. So it's interesting because the catch and shoot for the Knicks, like against the spot up, they're technically ranked 11th. Let me see about the team shooting. So I'm going to go to teams, opponent shooting. I'm going to go to general. I know this is going to be a little bit harder to find, but general. And I want to look at catch and shoot versus pull up. So catch and shoot stuff, who's allowing the highest frequency of that? Where are the Knicks at? So the Knicks are allowing some catch and shoot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15th. Dead middle of the pack in terms of allowing the catch and shoot. If I look at the pull-up stuff from anywhere on the floor, I'm looking at frequency of pull-ups. Knicks are allowing the second highest frequency of pull-ups. So that's why they suck against the pick and roll ball handler, 29th, limiting points to that play. But they're actually not that bad against the spot up. They're 11th best against the spot up, and they are pretty good at limiting the catch and shoot. They are not good at limiting the pull-up, or at least they give up a lot of attempts. How many points are they giving up? Yeah, so they're still giving up in the like bottom 10 in terms of the amount of field goals made off the pull-up. So who is shooting the most pull-up? It's probably RJ Barrett, if I had to guess. I'm going to go to players, shooting, 5-foot range. Oh, no, I have to go to tracking. Excuse me. Players, tracking. And now I can either choose catch and shoot or pull-up shooting. So let me look at pull-up shooting, filter this once again. Yes, I know that the tournament is on. Thank you. And filter this again to Toronto because pull-up shooters seem to have better success against the Knicks. And that person would be... Yeah, it's actually Scotty and Grady Dick. How crazy is that Grady Dick is doing more than just standing there and catching it and shooting it with his what do we call them with his Doogie Howser looking ass? Opie. That's the word I was looking for. Opie. That's what we call Grady Dick. Let me see real quick. Yeah, so interesting. Yeah, if I have time, bro, I'm down to look at some of these other games in a minute for sure. This is my type of thing. Do we slam Scotty for no double at minus 120? What is it? What's the no double? It's probably like minus 140. So if it's anything like that, then fuck no. Then you write a very strongly worded letter to the book that's offering you minus 120 for yes and minus 140 for no, and you say shove it directly up your ass. I shan't be betting with your bum ass book anymore with that vig. But if it's like plus 120, consider it. I don't think I want to mess with it. I think I want to take Grady Dick points, right? And I mean, I have not made the requisite amount of dick jokes yet either. So like, we should probably at least talk about him so we can fill our quota of dick jokes this show. Pinnacle has Dick at minus 128. So I like that we can get it for 15 cents better on DraftKings essentially. Why not? I mean, he's back in the starting lineup. Let's pull up some ETR stuff. Also, sorry. So this is the thing that I was really honed in on was like when these dudes play together. I mean, RJ's taking 18.8 shots, right? If he takes 18 shots in this game, let me just go to RJ real quick again, and I'll get back to Grady Dick. But if this is the point of the advanced filters, field goal attempts. If he takes 18 shots, let's say he takes 18 to 21, so this is like reasonable. Okay, 5. It's not like 18 shots is like the minimum for him to just go over the points prop. Let's keep that in mind. That makes sense. He really needs to take like a bunch more for us to feel comfortable about it. Against the Knicks, playing a little bit slower. Yeah, 4th slowest pace in the league. There's probably not going to be as many shots. I'm starting to not love the amount of shots that I expect him to take here. Going back to this for Scotty on the dimes, that would be, I mean, those are the looks. It's Scotty on the dimes. I think RJ on the boards is probably a look as well, if we're being honest. Let me get back to that because he's been doing work other than this one and the assists, like maybe the RA, because he's been getting assists. 5 on 9 potentials, 11 potentials, 8, 9. Nine potentials to get 5, but we're minus 1. Like this is juice to the gills. Like I can't take this at 4.5 for that kind of money. And yeah, so they're keeping that elusive. Rebounds and assists 10.5. Maybe that's the look. It's also minus 135. These books are scared today, bro. They don't know what they're doing. Like they do not know. It's just one game and they can't fucking adequately cap this shit. He's at 12.5 on the season. I don't like it, dude. I don't fucking like anything in this stupid game. If you're taking RJ on the points, it's because of spite. If you're taking Grady Dick on the points, it's actually not a bad look. Let me do it this way. Games with Ajay, Scotty, and Jakob. I don't know why I'm talking like Tommy Heinzen. 2 games with them. How many minutes? He probably didn't play very many minutes in these games. Oh, no, I lied. He played 37 versus Denver. Played 34 versus Mini. Both better defenses than the Knicks, are they? I'll give it to Minnesota. I mean, this is what's really stuck in my fucking craw is that when he plays, let me do this. Yeah, I mean, it's these 4 guys on the court. Oh, my bad. Yeah, for sure. So Juiced is, first of all, dimes are assists. We leave that up for a minute. Appreciate it, David. Thank you. And I'll get to I'll talk about that in a minute. What's up, Joe, though? Good to see you. Cup of Joe, my guy. Let's see. Dick over boards. I don't know why that's funny. Probably because Dick is in the word. So dimes are just assists. Just a little street ball name for assists. Dime them up, get a dime, all that stuff. And then juiced is going to be the odds that we're referring to. So it's a good question. Let's make sure that everybody knows what I'm talking about here. Juiced means that whichever way this bet has lower odds is juiced. So something being juiced means they took the odds from minus 115 and they're now at minus 128. So they moved them in the bad direction for us. Juiced is whichever side of the bet has a higher implied probability. Let's think of it that way. So on this bet for Pinnacle right here, it's juiced to the over because the over has a higher implied probability that this is going to happen. If the odds say minus 128, and I'm just going to pull this up because I appreciate the question, and I know there's other people in this chat right now that have the same question. So this is an odds calculator. If I have it doesn't matter what the amount is. Let's say the bet is $100. American odds say minus 130. Right. That's basically what we're seeing here on Pinnacle. Let's just, instead of minus 128, let's just call it minus 130, right? Which is right here. Okay. So minus 130 on BetMGM to the over, plus 100 or even money to the under, right? So that means if I bet on the over, I'm going to make back about $78 on my money instead of the 100 if I bet $100. In fact, I could just do that. So it's actually telling me right here, 77, excuse me, not 78. So if I bet $100 at minus 130, I make back $77 plus the original 100 that I bet. But if I bet this at plus 100, I'm making back, it's 50-50. I'm making back the same amount of money that I just bet, right? So it's $100 bet and I win $100. They pay me back 200, the 100 that I bet and the 100 that I won. But that's because the odds are plus 100. If the implied odds right here say that if something is is listed at plus 100 odds, there's a 50-50 shot that this happens. That's what the implied odds are saying, implying that there's a 50-50% chance that this bet hits the over or the under. At minus 130, they're saying that there's a higher likelihood that this bet does hit. So at minus 130, they're saying there's about a 56.5% chance that this hits. So what BetMGM is telling us here is they think that there is a 56% chance, 57% chance that this goes over for Grady Dick at 15.5 points. And they're saying there's literally a 50-50 shot that it goes under. Right? That's the odds that they've given for both sides of the bet. So when I say something's juiced, I'm saying it's juiced to the over here because minus 130 is a much higher implied percentage that this occurs than the plus 100. Cool. So juiced is just another term to indicate this is the side of the bet that is much more likely to be the outcome. All right. So if you have any more questions about that, hit me directly. No worries at all. But that makes sense. Is this true street cred, or are you asking me? Because I need you to be a force of reason here and tell me and not guess, because I need to know that. Let me know. All right. So hopefully that makes sense, Amber. If not, hit me up. And anybody else that has a question about juiced or dimes or boards or whatever, I'm here for all of it. So Grady Dick over rebounds. Is it just because he has this high hit rate in this situation? What's his stuff over here? So once again, when I'm looking at this is also super helpful because in 36 minutes of action with this lineup, Dick is looking at about 4.2 rebounds in 36 minutes. He might get 36 minutes tonight. But yeah, I don't know if I want to be messing with Dick boards necessarily. What time's this stupid game start? In an hour from now? All right. I haven't had a chance to look at these other 3 games, y'all. So, I mean, maybe we can get into it, but I do got to get something in here. If y'all are in the VIP already, I apologize that I have nothing for the NBA just yet. But, all right, let's see. And yeah, one more reminder, give that video a like. Got another hundo in here. Doing really well today, y'all. It's probably these NFL, NBA stuff. If you missed any of the bets for the NFL, I'll run through those real quick. But the NBA stuff, I don't have anything yet. I want to try to find a couple more in the next 10 minutes. If you do want to jump in the VIP for stuff like one-on-one betting help, like some of the stuff I was just showing you guys and even more advanced than that, then you can get in there. I believe we still have 2 codes left. I gave this out at the top of the show. They might already be used up. If you do want to jump in the VIP and you're like, yo, I can't afford this, hit me up. I don't want to make this too expensive for everybody. Would love to be able to work with some people or at least give you part of what we get going here. All right. But you like the RJ 5.5 boards, right? Let's see. 8.5 is what I do like the fact that when he's playing with this lineup, his per 36 numbers are 8.5 boards. I do like where you're at with that, Cody. The boards were the thing I was looking at. It's just the minus numbers. He's averaging 6. This is a good rebounding team. You know what I mean? They're number 1 limiting rebounds. What do they do? I think they're number 1 limiting shooting guard rebounds. No, number 3 limiting shooting guard rebounds. Let's say you call him a small forward and you call Grady Dick that. Well, it looks like they're worse. So who would we call the small forward though? You know what I mean? Is it RJ? Is it Grady Dick? How interchangeable is that? This is where Courtside Pal would be huge, bro. Be huge. I miss you. Courtside Pal. That's crazy. Yeah, no doubt, man. Oh yeah, with Daft too. Daft throws the parlay signs out there. He does some one-on-one consultation stuff too. But yeah, hit me, bro. We can, like I said, we can make stuff happen. What's the question here? How much of that is due to more coming on the over or the books thinking it'll happen more so they entice you? Oh, a lot of it. A lot of it. Absolutely. It's a great point. So what Aditya, let me make sure if I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry. What Aditya, I'm going to keep saying it that way. Hopefully it's not wrong. I don't know why I get so weird about saying people's names wrong. It's not on purpose. What you're asking though is a great question, which is if something is juiced, Sergeant Blazini's all over Dick tonight. Points. Pause. Points. The question, let me bring it back up. Sorry. Look at my ADD going crazy, man. This is huge. Yeah, this is what I was talking about the other day with DeJounte Murray versus the Atlanta Hawks, right? Everybody wanted to play the DeJounte Murray revenge narrative, which I said was silly because, one, I don't think he gave a shit, and two, he was there for like a cup of coffee and then he was out of Atlanta, so who cares? They didn't do him wrong. He didn't do them wrong. He didn't want to be there. They didn't want him there. But the books knew that people wanted to play over DeJounte Murray because they're like, it's a revenge narrative. He's going to beat up his old team, whatever, right? They made his points prop like 22.5 points. He hadn't even played. He had scored 22.5 points once this season, had barely played. Don't know why they thought that. But the books juiced the over. They made the odds on your return really shitty for the over, because they knew people would want to take it. So yes, the answer is 100%. The books do this very often, where they will juice the number to the over or the under based on what they think the public perception is. This is all about public perception as much as anything. So got to keep that in mind. That's a really good question. Weed is tight, so whatever. Weed is tight. Let's see. David likes McBride. McBride coming from the producer too, so you got to take this shit seriously. I had one more question I want to answer, David, and then we take a look at Deuce. Let's see. What did I want to answer? Yeah. So Shamu maybe or Chamu. If a lot of plays are juiced, can you make a same game parlay with positive EV from this game? Probably not, because the whole point of the parlay is going to be that it's made up of a bunch of single bets that have value. If you're taking some singles bets that have shit value and parlaying them with bets that have good value, you're still getting shit value. So no, I would say if you're making a parlay, what I would always make sure you're doing is using like a parlay calculator. I just use the one from Action Network, for instance. And let's say you want to make a parlay, put the amount of the odds of each one into your parlay, minus 150, minus 400. So these three together, if they're put together, if they're giving the correct odds back to us, are going to come out at plus 257. If you put these three parlay legs into a bet and the odds returned from DraftKings are like plus 185, they're ripping you off. So parlay calculators are huge for making sure that you're not getting ripped off on the juice and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, if you're making a parlay full of like negative value bets, then you're going to get a parlay return that is negative value. I understand people just look at the payout of the parlay and they go, oh my God, plus 257. That's way better than minus 140. Yeah, but the odds of you hitting this are so much worse than one bet at minus 140. It's not even close. The implied odds of this parlay right here are not high. There's no high implied odds for a parlay. It just doesn't work that way. If you are, then you're wasting your money. I play a number, see a number. Y'all with the parlays, like I get it. Just please ask some of the people in the Discord. The way you start making money is you play your straights. If you get good enough, like if you're not advanced, and I mean like probably advanced beyond me, I don't think you shouldn't be playing parlays as the majority of your bets. You should be playing straight bets. Y'all ask me, I'm going to go ahead and say it. That's just where I'm at. All right, cool. Let's see. Let me see here. How do we get spammed by all games streaming? Go fuck yourself. Right now, I think the better play for Scotty is the assists, Amber, but I just don't like it at the number that it's at against a good defensive team that does limit assists decently well. So that's kind of why I'm just like, it's not there for me. Yes, I want to take into account everything I can, but at the end of the day, the thing I'm taking into account here is this team is just not. It's a good defense. It's not a great defense, but it's still a good defense. So I'm just, I don't feel the need to play it. Some of this stuff might hit y'all, and that's great. But at minus 140, it's just not worth it for me to put my my well-earned and made money so far on the NBA on this. I don't need to take my 31 units and put it up against the crappy slate that we have tonight of one game. So just keep that in mind. I don't know that I'm going to find stuff that's going to make y'all be like, hell yeah. Thank you so much. Like we got some great bets out of this. I don't think I'm going to. I don't know that I'm going to have a bet on tonight. And I know this is a betting show, and I hope y'all got some shit out of it, including the NFL stuff. But I'm actually enjoying that you guys are coming with some questions for me to help you with. So, Facts. That's facts. So yeah, if once you start stopping doing this stuff, bro, then you start you start realizing. Now look, Stan, if you hit parlays every time, and you're doing better on the parlays or whatever, if you have a strategy, great. If your strategy is like, yo, Josh Hart has got to be good for 10 points tonight, let me take Josh Hart 10 plus points and throw it in there. Look how often he's hit 10 plus points. Yeah, that's true. And so if you want to take that and add, like Buddy Irons, also in the VIP, one of the guest cappers, does that as well, and gets himself some plus money that way. If you have a strategy that you're working with, but you're doing it when you're doing it, you're finding good singles bets and throwing them in there. So that's just where I'm at with that. I wanted to answer one more question from what's the one I'm on right now is Props Madness. Thank you, David. Yeah, for the question about which site we're on here, this is Props Madness. Use code LYB. I think it's $20 a month. So you will get 15% off your first, or 25, 20% off your first month. I should probably know that. My bad, Pips. 20% off if you want to use this. Like I was saying earlier, this is massive for understand. Like you get the most up-to-date odds. You can use filters like better than any other site for basketball. This is the stuff that matters. No other site is giving you, how does this dude perform against teams who guard his play type well? Are you kidding me? Like, if I know that the Raptors defense is dead last giving up free throws, I can literally go to up here and be like, how has Josh Hart performed against other teams that give up a ton of free throws, right? Where's opponent free throws allowed? Right here. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is so fire. Now, any team that gives up a lot of free throws, if Josh Hart, let's say, scores a lot off the free throw, this is really helpful. It's not helpful here because he doesn't score a lot off the free throw. But if he did, then I would be like, okay, this team's terrible at allowing free throws. Let me see how he's fared against other teams that are terrible at allowing free throws. So I'm going to say, how about against the bottom 10? How does he fare? And I move this filter to the bottom 10 teams. Actually, Josh Hart does really well against other teams that suck at limiting free throws in terms of his points. He's gone over his points prop in 6 of 9. Nice. The 9 games that he's played against the bottom 10 or 11 teams in limiting free throws, he's gotten his points in 6 of those 9 games. He's averaging slightly more against those teams than he is on the regular season. So there's some pattern there. There's some stuff that I can use to be like, maybe this is another feather in the cap of, let me hit the over on Josh Hart points. So I cannot talk more highly about this platform with the play type analysis and the advanced filters especially. So definitely think about that. The only tutty I got in today, Joe, is Joey B. Yes, Joey B and T Higgins. Excuse me. I like the Joey B. I told everybody, if you're playing prize picks, underdog, DFS pick'em, that kind of stuff, take Joey B over 1.5 touchdowns for -130, -140. I think that's fine. You add that to the legs in sleeper or underdog or whatever, right? Prize picks, whatever. I even like a sprinkle on the 3+ tutties. And then I like T Higgins plus 130 or so. Even plus 120 is as low as I'd go for T Higgins to get a tutty in this game as well. Those are my tutty plays. Let's see. Julius, suck it NBA. Yeah, suck it NBA in your one game, especially, honestly. Will Burrow throw for 250 plus? I think so. I think they're going to keep throwing, to be honest with you. So let's see. I was missing something else. Props Madness, bro. Honestly, like, there's the only thing that I like props.cash for is the ability to like split up stuff a little bit more specifically. I know I'm saying that really shitty. They give you averages on props.cash, and I've talked to Pips about this, the dude who started Props Madness with his buddy. I've talked to him and said, look, I need the averages. When I filter stuff right now, it's very helpful to know that he's averaging 15.4 points, but I want to know how many shots is he averaging right now. I can see that, but it's helpful. And I can still look at that, right? If I look at, but I can't get the averages. And so that's what props.cash does better than anything, to be honest with you. So that's where I'm at. Let's see. I wanted to hit one more. Yeah, that's facts for sure, Keone. Yeah, I'm with that. Taking Dick on the points. I'm just going to see if there's anything else I want to talk about before we get out of here, y'all. Under on the sacks, you crazy bastard. Okay, and also I see y'all coming in with the stuff you're talking about, and I appreciate this. So for instance, Ryan, live betting is hot for me right now. I just had another one like this. Stand by. This was also Ryan. My parlay, I stay away from the start. So Ryan, what I like about what you're saying, Ryan, is you have shit that you stick to. A lot of people will play only specific markets, for instance. Like a lot of dudes bet the NBA. Not a lot, but there's people who bet the NBA and they go, I'm only betting points props. I'm only betting rebounds props. People in the NFL, I'm only betting receiver props. They just have a better knack for a specific market or a specific type of play or whatever, right? Do it. Do what you feel comfortable with. There's no right or wrong way to do it. The right way is to win money. The wrong way is to lose money. Now, there's a lot of things that will come in between there that will help you win money more often than you lose money, for sure. I'm not saying it's luck and you just, but at the end of the day, I don't give a shit if you add, if you go 3 plus 2 is 5. I got that because I took 3 and I divided it by 4 and I added 1 and then I took away the 6 and I got to 5. It's like your math was fucked. How you got to the right result was totally wrong. But you got the right result. And while in math, that might not work, in sports betting, that shit works. I just want the money, right? So for Ryan, my main point here is I appreciate you jumping in and letting us know this is what I'm good at. This is what I stick to because I feel comfortable with it and I'm good at it. Do that. Stick to what you feel comfortable with and stick to it. I don't care if you're only playing. But anyway, I don't have any bets for the NBA. I'm gonna have to drop those in the VIP if I get them in the next hour or so. The stuff for the NFL, I'm just going to give it to you right now. Joey Burrow, 3 tutties for a half a unit. If you are playing DFS Pick'em, use Joe Burrow as well. Also, give that video a like. Joe Burrow, sorry, my brain short-circuited. Joe Burrow on DFS sites over 1.5 tutties. I'm not taking that for minus 140 or whatever other baloney. Go ahead and give the video a like if you would. I also want to let you know, Sleeper, if you don't have an account there, you can use code LYB for a deposit match. The reason I'm telling you that also right now is because tonight you can get on Sleeper and use this promo. You actually don't have to use a promo. You just go on there and they're offering you Joe Burrow on sale over half a passing yard. That's a free leg. So if you want to use that for a free leg in your parlay, use that one. If you don't yet have an account with Sleeper, use code LYB. Get up to $100 back on your deposit match. If you want to jump on the VIP where I'm putting all these plays, use code VIPDISC, VIP disc. 50% off. Got 2 of those left. Probably don't anymore, if we're being honest. But if you still want to jump in here to the VIP, let me know. This is how we're doing in the NBA, crushing it, just loving it. So got all that. I told you Joe Burrow 3+ TDs. I told you Joe Burrow over 1.5 on DFS sites only. I told you T. Higgins anytime touchdown, and I told you Chase Brown over longest rush that I like. So the longest rush for him will be at least 16 yards is the bet that I made here against a terrible run defense, the second or third worst, maybe the worst in the league for the boys. So those are the football bets. Unfortunately, don't have too much on the NBA. But I do like Cooper Rush attempts and yards. I actually like him on the under on the interceptions. I think that's a really smart look. Ryan, where you been at, bro? I appreciate all these looks and stuff. You saying some smart shit. I don't remember you been in here before, but all right, cool. Anyway, that's the time that I have for y'all. I'll be back tomorrow with a much better slate for the NBA for us to go over. Back on Thursday for all you straight NFL heads. I'll be back on Thursday for TNF as well. So give that video a like one more time. I appreciate y'all jumping in. We had a really good show today. So hopefully you guys got some stuff out of it. You can hit me on socials, JL Boogie as well. That's where I'm at on Discord or Twitter. If you need anything, hit me up directly there and we'll get into it. All right. So best of luck tonight, y'all. And until I see you tomorrow, happy betting.